What's going on, people? Ryan Williams AFC back with a match preview. The Premier League is back, which means Arsenal are back on the TV screens once again. Now, of course, we are taking on Manchester City. This was supposed to be our game in hand, which is our game in hand. Supposed to be the next game, of course. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your team selection, comments, scoreline predictions, all in the comment section, of course. Let me know all about it. Let me know all about it. Of course, if you're watching this video, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, guys. Yeah, so, of course, first game back into the Premier League. We've seen the friendlies with Arsenal against Charlton 6-0, and obviously the loss to Brentford. Yeah, it's been a little bit weird, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But this is a different test. This is Manchester City, guys. Who are currently second. Of course, they have nothing to play for. Liverpool pretty much run away with the title this year. Like, if anything, obviously we need something. Okay, we need a win. Now, going back to earlier this season, when they just literally lost to Manchester United in that crazy Manchester derby game, and of course we defeated, I'm pretty sure it was West Ham at home. It looked like we could do something. I'm not saying win, but it looked like we could potentially do something. So, because of obviously the injuries to Manchester City, you know, KDB wasn't fit. Wasn't sure about if Sane was going to come back in the squad or not. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of implications, and Sterling didn't look sharp at Old Trafford. So, hopefully, you know, it was going to be a little bit shaky, Manchester City, but let's be honest, we ain't exactly got the best defence, do we? Our defensive record this year has been absolutely atrocious. Well, not this year, this season, shall I say. This year, it's improved a bit. You know, since Arteta's come in, he's tightened up a wee bit, you know, let's be honest. But obviously, there's still cause of concern when you're coming up with the talents and the likes of Aguero, Sterling, Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, you name Manchester City, man. You name it, they're bench, for crying out loud. Do you know what I'm saying? So, for me, I'm going to give you my team, my predicted starting lineup, who I think we should go for. Do you know what I mean? I put a predicted lineup on my Instagram, of course, guys. Make sure you click the link in the description. My Instagram is linked. I've had time to think, and I've gone with a totally different team. Well, not totally different, just a few changes here and there. But let me give you a team, okay? So, of course, in goal, I'm going to go with Leno, probably the best keeper we got at the club. Of course, I have been impressed with Leno. You know, it's taken me a time. I'm not saying Leno, I have my doubts about him. Because, yeah, he's made a few mistakes in the past. But to be honest with you, Leno he's been tremendous. And I think of games like Norwich, I think of last season, I think of the North London derby. Do you know what I mean? Like, Leno has pulled it out for us. You know, I can't say a bad thing about Leno. Do you know what I mean? He's up and coming anyway, so it is what it is. The right back situation is going to be Hector Bellerin. Not sure what's going on with Cedric Suarez. I've been hearing rumours that he's injured, so Bellerin's going to have to put up his socks on this one. Hopefully he can pull out a good performance. He's been a bit up and down since he's come back from injury. He did score that equaliser in such a dramatic, emotional game at Stamford Bridge in the 2-2 draw against Chelsea. But since then, I mean, he hasn't really been looked at the levels. You know, I think of the Newcastle game, which we won, and he was having a torrid time. Again, the Everton game as well, we also won that one, and again, he was getting ripped apart. But, listen, he looked decent in one of the friendlies. I'm pretty sure it was, I think it was the Brentford game. We actually got an assist. It was actually a good run from Hector Bellerin. We need that. That's what we need from Bellerin. We need that pace. But again, it's the defensive duties as well. It's to get back and defend. So, Hector Bellerin, this has to be the game for him to really pull up his socks. Alongside him is David Luiz. I feel him, and of course, I'm going to put Pablo Mari, beside him. because I've seen enough for Socrates. Personally, I'm not a fan. Mustafi, for me, listen, as much as he has been looking impressive in the last probably about 4 fixtures, nah, I'm sorry, man. He's too inconsistent for me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's been putting good performances in, but we don't know. Mustafi's too hot and cold sometimes. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on your centre-back pairing. But going back to David Luiz as well, I mean, he's the centre-back with the most experience in the Premier League. He can cross. We saw that wicked ball he put in for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang against Everton. Hopefully we can get something similar to that against Manchester City. It'll be tough, but hey, he has that in his locker. But the only thing that does worry me about Luiz, sometimes he can be a bit too lapsadaisical, can make mistakes. We've seen the mistakes lessen since Arteta's come in, and Arteta has spoken, you know, in his press conferences how highly he thinks of David Luiz. So we need to see some of that in this game. Pablo Mari, we've yet to see much of him. I'm more interested in seeing him than the other 2 centre-backs, or even Rob Holding as well, because Rob Holding just hasn't looked anything like the Rob Holding he was before he got injured. And of course, that takes a toll on you, but I think it's best if we just see Mari and Luiz. They know each other. They've been a partnership the last couple of times they've been together. With the last game against West Ham, pretty sure it was Mari and Luiz. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. In the FA Cup game against Portsmouth, I'm pretty sure in a Bournemouth game as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, these guys pretty much have an understanding. They know each other, so that's the partnership. The left back situation, that's going to be a bit different. I'm going to go with Kieran Tierney solely because I want Saka playing up the wing. You know what I'm saying? But maybe as a sub, maybe as a starting, I'll let you know when we get there. So Kieran Tierney is an experienced left back. Of course, he did get injured earlier this season against West Ham, but he has come back. He's looking sharp, and again, because it's his natural position, I'm going to give it to him. And of course, Bukayo Saka has done amazing being in that left back role. But again, like I said, I have plans. Let's follow on into that midfield. The midfield now, I want Xhaka and I want Torreira right in that defensive role. Both of them shutting it down. We're going to need them when you got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne in that midfield. Remember, Kevin De Bruyne took us apart with ease. Probably, even he said it, probably the easiest game he's ever played when we played him at the Emirates. Literally, the last game Arteta was in the technical area for Manchester City before he made the jump coming home to Arsenal. So, I mean, we're going to need these guys, especially Xhaka, because, you know, Xhaka, you know, he's not my personal favourite and a lot of people's personal favourites, but he's going to need to step it up. Do you know what I mean? And I know a lot of fans are still, you know, not exactly forgave him for that spat he had earlier on in the season against Palace. But he did look impressive after that. You know what I'm saying? And I know Arteta loves him, so he's going to need to be playing an important role. Same as Lucas Torreira. Lucas Torreira, a lot of fans have kind of been a little bit shaky with him. You know, there was also reports about him. He still apparently wants to go back to Italy. Don't know how true that is, but if you hear it twice, it doesn't really sound too nice, does it? Let's be honest, guys. But if Lucas Torreira and Granit Xhaka, pretty much our best defensive partnership that we got at Arsenal right now in that midfield, let's go with it. Let's go with it. We've seen what Torreira can do in that holding midfield role for Uruguay. We saw him earlier on last season in that position. Do you know what I mean? Not playing number 10 earlier this season. That was horrific. But yeah, Lucas Torreira, Granit Xhaka holding midfield just in front of him. Now, on my Instagram, I put Danny Ceballos there because obviously I don't want Ozil starting. Now, it's really hard because Ceballos for me although he has done a few things that have looked good since Arteta's come in, but it hasn't been that great. So for me, I'm going to risk it all. I'm going to put Joe Willock on there. Joe Willock can literally get in from that midfield and literally do something. He's a very explosive player. He's young. He's quick. He can run. Do you know what I mean? He's not fast, but he's quick. He's got a bit of pace. Do you know what I mean? This is what we need. And I feel Ceballos is a little bit slow. Ozil takes about 45 minutes to deliver a pass. And, you know, we all know the Ozil fans wet themselves when they see him finally make a pass. Anyways, enough crap on Ozil. But personally, I just feel, for me, Willock, this is his time to shine. And I mean, when I think about, you know, the League Cup game against Liverpool, and he scored that bang-end goal, like, he was running. And but don't get me wrong, there was a few times this season where he's kind of lost his head, he's kind of lost his way. But let's go to the friendlies and fast forward, you know, against Charlton, against Brentford. In the clips that we saw, he's been doing well. He's done well. He actually scored a banger against Charlton, I believe it was. Yes, it was Charlton in that 6-0 win. So I'm sure his confidence is up there. And I feel starting him against Manchester City will do much wonders. Now, here is where it gets interesting. That front three. Now, for me, on that right, it's going to have to be Nicolas Pepe. I want to see more Pepe. I want to see Bellerin help Pepe. You know what I mean? I want to see Pepe do something. Pace is what we need. So I'm going all out pace at the front, right? Pepe, all I have to say is do not take too long on the ball. I remember one game, I'm pretty sure it was Olympiacos, where he just looked like he wanted to twist up man for fun, and yet we needed a goal. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I don't mind Pepe twisting up people, but if you're going to twist up people, make sure you either hit a shot after or get through them and pass the ball. It's as simple as that. But Nicolas Pepe, we have seen glimpses of him really adapting to the Premier League so far. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Nicolas Pepe could do a good job for us. On the other side of the flanks, I'm going with Bukayo Saka. And this is the reason why I didn't put a left back. Now, of course, we know the quality, the skill that he possesses because of how much assists he's got in that left back position. So if we put him in his natural position now, I mean, it could be great for us. Do you know what I'm saying? It could be good for him, and he's definitely getting that experience, and hopefully it'll persuade him to sign that contract, because again, he's another one, as well as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who needs a contract extension or a new deal. So Bukayo Saka, for me, gets the nod. We've got Gabriel Martinelli on the bench. We've got Reece Nelson on the bench. You know, these guys could come on if Saka's looking tired or not having a good game. So why not? And up front, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I mean, was there really any doubt he was not going to be the striker? Now, of course, a lot of people might say, oh, what about Aubameyang playing on the left and Lacazette down the middle? Now, personally, you know, I was getting sick of that because, you know, Aubameyang in the middle is dangerous. All right, we've seen the goals that him and Lacazette can cause, but we know Lacazette is sometime-ish. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate Lacazette, but sometimes he's going to be a bit hot and cold, you know, as we saw in the friendlies. You know, he scored an absolute banger in that Charlton game. But again, he missed so many opportunities in the Brentford game. He did score, but he had times to wrap it up, and he just looked a bit off. So I think maybe bringing him off a bench, you know, situation would be good. So Aubameyang, for me, you know, he's the captain, he's the leader of the team. He needs to be starting, and he needs to be right in that striking position. Now, I'll go through the team again for you guys. Leno, Bellerin, Luiz, Mari, Tierney. That's the back. The midfield, Xhaka, Torreira, and Willock. And, of course, the front three in Pepe, Saka, and Aubameyang. So, it's going to be a tough one, guys. Do I believe we can win? We have a chance. The ball is round, and of course, everybody is pretty much in the same position in terms of no one's really had a really intense competitive game. It's just a lot of teams have had friendlies, and you know, the fitness levels, you know, that's what we all have to rely on. Do you know what I mean? How fit are Arsenal? How fit are Manchester City? Are City going to be as intense, as explosive as they have previously? And of course, you know, my thoughts are with Pep Guardiola, because obviously he sadly lost his mother. So his frame of mind, I don't know where that will be. Do you know what I mean? As well as coming up against a man he's worked with closely for a few years in Mikel Arteta. So, you know, the thing what we have is Arteta. He's pretty much has the book on Manchester City and how they play, their weakness, their strengths, you name it. But it's the master versus the student, Pep versus Mikel. It's as simple as that, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section on if you like this team or not. Put your starting 11. What do you think the scoreline will be? And me, it is tough. It is tough. And there's been too many times I've gone against our team this season, because I have to be real. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we're going to go up to the Etihad and spank them 4-0. Because I know the quality Manchester City have. That's just not going to happen. It could happen. And Manchester City had a lot of players injured and unfit, etc. But let's be real. Our defence ain't exactly been, you know, the Great Wall of China. Has it? No. No, it hasn't. And we know the quality that Manchester City have. First team, second team. I'm more forgetting the bench. So, you know, for me, I love a draw. Obviously, I want the win, guys. A draw would be fine, because leaving the Etihad with something is better than nothing. Let's be real, guys. We could go there and get an absolute battering. Hey, so for me, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for 2-2. Realistically, we'll probably lose. I hate to be the downer, but let's be honest, man. I've said it just a minute ago. Look at the quality of players Manchester City have compared to us. Like, we got some players that are good, some players that are in the works, and some players that are just really not good enough and need to go. I'm just being honest, guys. But guys, thanks again for checking out this video, of course. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Click the links if you want to get in contact with me below on my Instagram and my Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the Sociate Casted series as well on my other channel. And guys, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll be back with the match review between Manchester City and Arsenal. Have a good night, peeps.